Shalom Mishpachim, welcome to His Narrow Bridge. Our time together today is meant to immerse ourselves in the Word of Yahweh. It is meant to be a personal time of connection to the Word for each of us. I will read each word as translated in English in an interlinear Hebrew Bible. These shows are pre-recorded, so I will be in chat when they air. Feel free to use the chat to post anything that comes to your mind as we read the word. We will begin with prayer, followed by time for each of us to say our own personal prayers. Our beloved friend Alan Horvath taught us, make Elohim number one on a list of one. We pray in the name of Elohim, which includes Yahweh, Yeshua, and the Ruach HaKodesh. Thank you, Elohim, for our lives and all you provide. We ask for a hedge of protection around our mishpacha as we pray and study. We love you dearly. We are your children. We come to you with questions as we seek our personal relationships with you. Please help us learn. If any darkness enters our time together, we ask you now to rebuke it. We will now listen to your word as we immerse ourselves in it and let it speak to us.
Luke chapter 21. And Yeshua stared at the rich men who were casting their offerings into the treasury. Footnote 112 is just a technicality. And he also saw a poor widow who cast in 2 small coins. And he said, truly, I say to you that this poor widow has cast in more than everyone. For all of them have cast into the house of offering of Elohim from what was in excess to them, but this one from her poverty. She has cast in all that she had owned. And while some were speaking about the temple, that it was adorned with beautiful stones and with offerings, Yeshua said to them, these things that you see, the days will come in which not one stone will be spared. There will not be one stone upon another that is not pulled down. And they were asking him and said, Teacher, when will these things be? And what is the sign that these things are near to happening? But he said to them, see to it that you are not deceived. For many will come in my name and will say that I am the Messiah, and the time is near, but do not go and follow after them. And when you hear of wars and revolutions, do not have fear, for they are necessary first to happen, but the end has not yet arrived. For nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. And there will be severe earthquakes from place to place, and famine and plagues. And there will be fears and terrors, and great signs will be seen from heaven. And the winters will be severe. But before these things, they will lay hands upon you and persecute you. And they will deliver you to the assemblies and to the prisons. And they will bring you before kings and governors because of my name. But it will be to you for a testimony. But place it in your hearts that you should not try to learn how to answer. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom, so that all your enemies will not be able to stand against it. And your parents and your brothers and your relatives and your friends will betray you, and they will kill some of you. Then you will be hated by all men because of my name. Yet not a strand of hair from your head will perish. 113 is also a technicality. And by your patience you will gain your souls. And when you see that an army has surrounded Jerusalem, then you know that its destruction has drawn near to it. Then those who are in Yehuda, let them flee to the mountains, and those who are within it, let them flee. And those in the villages, let them not enter into it, because these are the days of vengeance, that might be fulfilled everything that is written. But woe to those who are pregnant and to those who are nursing in those days, for there will be great distress in the land and wrath upon this people. Verse 24. And they will fall by the edge of the sword and be led away to every land. And Jerusalem will be trampled by the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And there will be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars. See, wheel of the stars in appendix. And on earth, distress of the nations and confusion from the roaring of the sound of the sea, and upheaval that casts out life from men because of fear of what is about to come upon the earth. And the powers of Shamayim will be shaken. From Haggai 2:6 and 21. Haggai 2, verse 6. For thus says Yahweh of hosts, more, once a little while it is, and I will shake Hashamayim and Haaretz, and the sea and dry land. Verse 21. Speak to Zerubbabel, governor of Judah, saying, I will shake Hashamayim and Haaretz. Verse 27. And then they will see the Son of Man, who will come in the clouds with much power and great glory or esteem. That's Daniel 7:13 and 14. Was watching I in visions night and behold, with clouds of heaven, the one like a son of man came coming, and to Ancient of Days he came, and before him they brought him near. And to him was given dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all peoples, nations, and languages him should serve. His dominion is dominion and everlasting, which not shall pass away, and his kingdom the one which not shall be destroyed. Instead of the word glory, we have honor. Verse 28. But when these things begin to happen, have courage and lift up your heads, because your salvation draws near. And he was speaking a parable to them. Look at the fig tree and all the trees. When they bud, you understand immediately from them that summer draws near. Likewise, also, when you see these things happening, know that the kingdom of Elohim is near. Truly I say to you that this tribe will not pass until all these things occur. 117. Paul Yunan renders Sharbata here as generation. However, it is the Israel of Elohim, the household of faith, who is the tribe, and would not pass away, but bear witness until the end of time. It is easy to understand how early believers could misinterpret this and apply it to their own lifetime. Verse 33. Heaven and earth will pass away, yet my words will not pass away. But beware in yourselves that your hearts never become heavy by extravagance and by drunkenness and by distress of the world, and that day should come suddenly upon you. For like a snare it will entrap all those who dwell upon the face of the earth. Therefore be watchful at all times, and pray that you are worthy to escape from these things that are about to happen, and that you stand before the Son of Man. And during the day he would teach in the temple, and during the night he would go out and lodge in the mountain that is called the House of Olives. And all the people were coming early to him at the temple, to hear his word.
Sonia is a sweetheart. She's a little ray of sunshine. She loved seeing the cows and just meeting all the really friendly people. She adapted really, really quickly, which was fantastic.
We were really thankful that we found Camp Hill and really impressed with the way things went. Noah quickly fit in.
Life for Wes at Camp Hill is just such a rich, loving community, and he feels at home, completely at home.
Where do you send somebody like Maria? It's like she got into Harvard and Yale in special needs. It's amazing.
Sonia loves to be around other people, loves to be active, but needs structure as well. All of those things Camp Hill really provides for her.
I like working in houses with people. I help cut food and help cut vegetables and help them make lunch. And I also like to set the table too.
Wes wakes up bright and early. He starts his day by working at the biodynamic dairy farm. His work there allows him to contribute to the community, which is so important for him.
Everybody has a job to do, and everybody's expected to contribute.
The whole philosophy here is to help young people, older folks, whatever, to be able to learn what their skill base is and what they have to give and what are their gifts and their talents so that they can really be a part of the community. There's no separation here.
Most children with disabilities grow up to be adults with disabilities who live with their parents.
Being a parent of a child with a disability, your biggest fear is what happens to your child when you're no longer here.
Ever since they said the word mental retardation at age 2, I've been worried about her life when I'm not here.
I don't have family close by, and so, the thought in my mind was always, what happens to her when I'm gone?
We really are fortunate to have him here.
Maria being here has made it possible for all of us to live our lives and know that she is okay. Whenever anybody says, "How's Maria?" I say, "She's happy." What more could you ask?
Just finding a place where I know she'll have that community and be cared for, and I don't have to worry about that anymore. It's really just such an incredible thing to have found Camp Hill.
He enjoys life here. And to me, that's incredibly important.
I do a lot of advocacy work, especially for our young people that are moving into the 21 and older period.
When 21 hits, the municipal funds dry up. It's as though the problem is solved now. And it isn't. It isn't.
I would love for other families to have the opportunity to access and be a part of Camp Hill community.
My husband and I realize how blessed, how fortunate we are that we found Camp Hill and that we can afford it.
I would hope that as we continue to share what this lifestyle is and what our son has reaped from that and continues to reap, that more people will see the need to support Camp Hill Village, Kimperton Hills, so that it continues to do the amazing work that it does.
Camp Hill Village, Kimperton Hills is an intentional community composed of people of various abilities and disabilities, living and working together. A truly wonderful and inspiring place to live. the players actually get to know the community that they're part of. Volunteering in the community, perhaps in the bakery or in one of the workshops. There's a weavery, there's of course the community-supported agriculture, working in the fields. There's the dairy where we have fresh whole milk every day. There is a pottery workshop, there's a woodworking shop. And in the course of that, they meet many of the community members.
We came in late spring of 1978 and have never left. We didn't really realize that our life's work would be here. My wife Pat and I applied to the Kimberton Waldorf School for part-time jobs in 1986. Pat's role was to be the person who opened a little farm store. By 1993, it was clear that the farm could sustain itself, and the store had run out of space, and we moved the farm store to the village of Kimberton. And we renamed ourselves Kimberton Whole Foods. Our neighbors, Campbell Village, Kimberton Hills, supplied us with vegetables, milk, and bread. As time went on, we added more and more local farms. Supporting these regenerative farms is really core to our mission.
Terry and I share a belief that Pennsylvania has a real opportunity to be the global epicenter for this movement.
Terry's belief in regenerative agriculture is so inspiring in a way that is energy giving that I can't imagine the Pasa community without Terry Bread.
We opened our second store in 2004, and our sixth store in 2018. In 2023, we sold over $10.7 million of local product. We support community, we support agriculture, we support people learning about appropriate agriculture. We donate to 84 different not-for-profits.
Terry prides himself in keeping as much of his supply chain here in Pennsylvania as possible and working hard to ensure that the products that end up on the shelves of his stores come from regenerative organic farmers right in the community.
Supporting local isn't just some words. If we support our local agriculture and we have a direct relationship, there's really no supply chain to break down. And ours didn't break down, and we grew tremendously.
He is really a remarkable human being, and what he's been able to do with Kimberton Whole Foods, the amount of growth, and when you add on all that he has done to sort of support the local farmers and the regenerative agriculture, organic and sustainable agriculture movement in the area, we as a community owe a tremendous amount to Terry.
If we can go back to having food sources through 100% what they call lifetime grazed animals, then we get both a sustainable and a better soil while getting our food.
Terry Bread reflects the values of regenerative organic agriculture by the way he lives his life, by the humility and service by which he carries out his work. And I think our movement has a lot to learn from him and from how he exemplifies and embodies, nature itself.
So what do we want? We need agricultural policy in this country to embrace the regenerative piece and to say, if we really want to feed the planet for years to come and be sustainable, this is the way.
For more information about these videos, look at the video description and click more. You can then have links to my YouTube channel and the YouTube playlist, which has all the Aramaic English New Testament videos, Bible Hub links, and Odiote. So this is useful because you can click a chapter and go word by word through the scriptures and get details about each word and where they are used throughout the Bible.